Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. We are here for a death battle. We got Kratos versus Asura, God of War versus Asura's Wrath. I know both of these characters. I have never played God of War, but I have seen like the cutscenes throughout the years, and I love Kratos' story. Now, Asura's Wrath, I did play. I did play that growing up. Don't remember the story too much, but I remember the gameplay, and it was a lot of fun. I remember having a lot of fun playing it. So they're about to like give me a little summarization of Asura's story. I'm sure I'm ready to hop in. Link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out on your own. Let's run this up. We're going full 3D animation too, alright.
Kratos versus Asura.
The Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Cause sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. He's
They definitely did.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
This is about to really remind me of Asura's story because I don't remember
the
it.
Primordials waged war across existence, a series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang!
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Starting a whole messy cycle, Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
As a classic bastard child of Zeus, Kratos was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among him. He became a fierce warrior, winning many a battle, until finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys!
Also, hold on a second. He's 7'8". Kratos is 7'8". I knew he was tall, but I didn't know he was that tall. Oh my god, that makes... Like, you go back and watch Thor Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok. Holy crap, Thor is huge. Well, that has to make Thor at least 10 feet. Oh my god. I thought Kratos was around my height. I'm 6'4". I thought Kratos was around my height, but he's 7'8"? I did not know that.
He'll finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords and basically a badass whirlwind of flame and steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He
That's
was
so
forevermore the Ghost of Sparta.
So he was kinda understandably really pissed off. Time for a new God of War. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new God of War took out his rage on all of them. And got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings, Kratos dominated both sea and sky. He
Look at all
also has a
those
tendency
weapons,
to carry
man.
powerful severed heads, like Medusa's.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the the primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than
Oh my
light.
God.
A frankly incomprehensible feat,
Then there's Daddy Zeus.
who proved a serious challenge until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and can pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Yeah.
Like a badass, he was unstoppable. Non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a new lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially
Probably.
after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time, and Faye left the tools he'd need
wasn't
to
his
keep
fault
the
the first
boys
time.
safe, including the Leviathan Axe.
Far from the whirling rage of the Blades of Chaos, the Leviathan Axe was deliberate and mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor
Which it
wishes
did.
Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Asir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he knew how to control his anger.
Which is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like the opposite of what should happen.
Not all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields
If
plenty
you
of new
channel it
weapons and
correctly,
relics to
yeah.
channel his rage through.
Like the Dropnir Ring, which can summon a bunch of wind spears. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder Thor, who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the World Tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to free
Kinda.
the Norse world, Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos made
And
a lifetime
wolf.
of mistakes, but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past, not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender, a god of hope.
This battle is sponsored by...
Yeah, man, Kratos' story played out incredibly well. I loved what was done with him. Hope to see some more from him in the future, you know, see where they take this new... I guess you could say enlightened Kratos. I don't really know the exact word to use there, but like this new Kratos he seems enlightened, you know? I wonder where they're gonna take him. But now let's get into Asura's story.
Long
Remind me
ago,
what his
a
story
demigod
is.
fell from the heavens, only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod of wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals,
Okay. Put him in Marvel vs. Capcom. Okay.
Asura served as defender of humanity against the
Damn, he
angry
is
Goma,
old,
dark
bro.
spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle, like the
Yep.
six-armed Vajra, a state powerful
I
enough to
remember
subdue
that.
the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma.
And I remember cutscenes like
He
this,
wasn't
but
angry
I
enough
don't
to put
remember the
Goma
story.
Blitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Funny
About
you should
that.
say that.
God damn it.
First off,
About
Asura is
that.
not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil. Just like Asura himself. He's a warrior, but also a husband with a daughter, Mithra,
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy.
which gave Asura's
Oh.
prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra,
Oh,
literally wiring her up to a
no.
super
Would-
weapon,
why would
the
you do
Guardian
that?
Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him.
Oh my god.
What a dick.
But true to his nature, Asura was
Oh my
literally too
God.
angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider, he did just that, with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay!
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now.
You see, what I don't understand is with these characters, Kratos and Asura, you literally give them powers based on rage, right? Based on anger and rage. And they are both gods, by the way, both demigods. And you give them these powers based on rage, and then you essentially have them, like, make them so like insanely powerful that their rage keeps them from dying, essentially, right? Or at the very least, they find a way to cheat death using other means, right? Why in the world would you be stupid enough to piss them off? I don't understand. I don't understand what is wrong with these pantheons. Like, you have a member of your pantheon who is literally empowered by rage. If you make them furious, that's only going to come back to bite you, because all you're doing is making them more powerful. I don't understand it. How can you be that stupid?
Hell, turns out
Can
they're all
someone
assholes who
explain that
started
to me?
sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really, really, really pissed off.
So
Through his rage,
stupid,
Asura's
dude.
power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wizen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger?
Bruh.
Look at this.
Asura is so powerful, his soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities.
Oh my-
He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his fist to...
Alright, sorry I'm pausing so much. I'm just, like, really trying to remind myself of just how strong this dude is. I remember him being insane. Okay, propelled flight, nice. Okay. Okay.
break steel, fire explosive energy blasts.
And headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes.
Yeah, I
and
remember
when he
that.
goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he also tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who very much reminded freedom of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid. Like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village,
of course,
sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
how
I
the guys
definitely
were
remember that
sacrificing
form.
thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful.
That's
the
what I'm
angrier he
saying.
gets.
How
What did you think was
stupid
gonna
can you
happen?
be?
Yet even in berserker mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so
Bruh,
high
these are all
even
his forms?
he couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even though it
6
hurts
forms,
Asura
wow.
while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura.
I
for a
might
coup
have to watch some
against
cutscenes for
Deus.
this.
Awesome, they're bros again. Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst. Then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra
Bruh.
form. Finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
Deus
Oh my
was
God.
defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop.
Wasn't over
It
yet.
turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
And everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it! That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
A shield larger than a planet. Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched
Ooh.
through asteroids
I
larger
don't
than
remember
nebulas,
that, though.
dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars.
Chakravartin was understandably impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor,
Nice.
or Ryu. Right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything, all because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind.
I agree. Alright, so having watched both biography portions, I guess it would be back here. Having watched both biography portions, I gotta side with Asura on this one because it seems to me that yes, while Kratos does like have more like games, which means more feats in terms of what he is capable of, Asura with his game, this dude was literally wiping out entire fleets in space, destroying planets. Like his fights were on such they were on a universal scale essentially. And Kratos, I don't think, like, I don't know the science behind everything that Kratos has done but in my, like, to my immediate knowledge, I don't think Kratos has really done anything to match that. Like, I know they said earlier that he got, I don't think it was Kronos, it might have been Kronos, I don't remember, who was holding up the world, the universe. They said that he forced somebody to hold it up, but Kratos himself wasn't doing like anything that would make such a destructive impact as to, like, say, blow up a planet like Asura was doing, right? So it seems like Asura's got the advantage going into this, so I think I'm gonna root more for him. I don't know though. We'll see. They could pull a surprise out of nowhere, but so far that's where my brain is.
All right, the combatants are set.
Oh my
We've
God.
run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a dead battle!
Yo, this looks good. Okay, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. Alright.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia. But not for long. You do not want this fight.
Like, they wouldn't show her for no reason. I see where this is going. Who can outrage the other is essentially what this fight is. Who can outrage the other? Ooh. God, man.
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up! Very well.
Ooh, him in these chains, man. Oh, God. There it is. You made his daughter cry. Now that doesn't guarantee him a win, of course, but from the moment they showed her, I knew that's where it was going.
This is not my end!
Oh my god. He's gonna catch it.
Death has not earned me yet, Titan!
Okay.
But you deserve a worthy end!
Right in the head. Dude, that was awesome. Now, is he actually dead is the question, because we saw him come back from death earlier.
You are a monster no longer. I never was.
Okay, so yeah, he is dead. Alright, Kratos wins then. Alright.
Well, I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
Yeah,
That doesn't
no.
mean he couldn't. Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from
Fair
gameplay
enough.
restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are generally even.
But
Okay.
what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience. Asura lived across centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So
Yeah.
Asura easily takes experience. But when it comes to versatility, he couldn't match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot of punching.
Kratos' weapons,
Fair
magic,
enough.
runes, relics, and even his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him. So the Dropnir spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos exactly what he needed: versatility, and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do! If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But
Like that's what I was saying earlier. It's like if you look purely at the feats of what that of the things that they have done, it would seem like Asura has the advantage, right? Because, again, I am no science whiz. I do not, go into the whole, like, scientific calculations of it all. But going purely off of what I have seen and what I have heard, Kratos, to me, hasn't really done anything that would scale up to exactly what Asura has done. Now, they could be going into some other factors that would, like, compensate for that, but, like, it would seem like Asura has the advantage in terms of power, right?
If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asuras, the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner is Kratos.
Okay, so that's interesting. They didn't necessarily do it in terms of, like, you know how in Asura's Wrath, they make it like essentially a showcasing display of what Asura can do. Like, they like really show you everything, the full scale of what exactly it is that he is doing, like fighting against, like defending, or like destroying whatever it is. They show you the full scale of that, especially since they have the added bonus of being in space. You know, whereas Kratos, he's always like typically on land. So it's like the scaling there, like when you scope it out, it looks different. But like, I guess, yeah, like if you look at the things that Kratos was defeating and what they were capable of, yeah, I guess it does make sense that he would be up there in terms of power. Because like with Asura, again, they show the full scale of what he's doing, whereas with God of War, it's more hidden. It's like they don't show you exactly what Kratos is doing, or like the full scale of his monstrous strength, but they show you how strong he is because of the beings that he has defeated. Okay. I kind of like that little turnaround. That's cool.
But
all right.
what if...
Oh? alternate ending. Because they did show Asura coming back to life. So that's why I was like, is he dead?
Concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end. Next time on Death Battle.
Who's up next? Ghost Rider versus, is that Spawn?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Next up, Ghost Rider versus Spawn. That is gonna be cool. I can tell you off rip that I'm rooting for Ghost Rider, mainly because I know more about Ghost Riders than I do about Spawn. It is what it is. You go with what you know, right? But that is going to be an awesome battle to watch for next time. This time, though, I really enjoyed this battle. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, especially considering that I thought Asura would win because of the display that he showed during the biography. With Kratos, you really had to not necessarily dig deep, but you had to do the whole scientific calculations of it all to see exactly what it was that he was doing. So that was a nice way to hide how strong Kratos really is. That was cool. But yeah, this was an awesome battle of the rage gods. It was awesome. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me watching this, because if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.